a common saying, well-known saying, that बेफिक्री मुअमिन की मौत है. Mashayikh use this statement often, बेफिक्री मुअमिन की मौत. What does this refer to? Befikri is that a person, he stops being concerned, or he's not concerned. So one is a person is doing something, mashallah, what he's doing whatever is required to be done also. But one is, there's a concern that what I'm doing, to start off with, is it being done correctly? And then how to keep this consistent. So now he's concerned, that concern is the fuel that will keep it continuing. And when there's a degree of complacency, there's a degree of a person now becoming lax, that fine, everything's carrying on, I don't need to worry about anything, that befikri becomes his maut. You look in the lives of the Sahaba Ikram, despite being who they were and what they had been already, glad tidings had been given while walking on the face of this earth. But Abu Darda radiallahu anhu, for example, in his salah, the nawafil, these are things that would normally happen in the nawafil, he would be repeatedly making dua to Allah Ta'ala to protect him from Nifak. Now, can we imagine who's Abu Darda radiallahu ta'ala an, and what is Nifak? The Quran Sharif, Allah Ta'ala describes the punishment of the munafiqeen, that they will be fi darkil asfali minan nar, in the worst part of Jahannam. And he is concerned about this, that I should not be having nifaq in me. One tabi'i, he says, I met 70 sahaba, one riwayat 30 sahaba. Kulluhum yakhafu ala nafsihi an nifaq. Each one of them were concerned that they must not fall into nifaq. Now, where's their situation and where's our situation? And regardless of what a person does, how he carries on, there are so many things which we take for granted that we are fine. For example, person thinks, well, okay, fine, I am very safe from ghibat. It's a major sin. So, alhamdulillah, very great. But how often that ghibat happens within a person's self? One is he's talking to somebody else, he's talking to somebody, and he's making ghibat. So there he is even also conscious that this is wrong. Sometimes conscious, sometimes people try to just explain that away in some way also. But how many times it happens that a person is talking within himself, that person is a terrible person. He has his terrible habits. Now he's talking to himself and engaging in the thoughts about that person, his negatives, and this is hadithun nafs. So he's talking to himself. So now he's talking to himself about what? About somebody else's faults, somebody else's wrongs. Had he said that aloud, would that be ghibat or not? He's saying it within himself. One is a passing thought which shaitan just whispered in somebody's mind, he just ignored it. He's not accountable for that. Now this is just one example of how many things happen, and a person now is going on within his mind about somebody's evil. So that became ghibat. So like this, there are so many things a person doesn't even take any note of, doesn't give any second thought to. We don't know where he's taking it. But the person who is concerned, he has this fikr that I hope I'm not falling into something, I hope I'm not getting caught up into something that shouldn't be there. And let alone something of such a deep nature, how often we are very casual about what we speak and just say anything, because there's no concern, there's no worry about what I've said, how I've gone far away from Allah Ta'ala because of this statement. So this concern, this fikr is a very, very great thing, and this is developed by a person sitting and thinking, that murakaba, making muhasaba, taking an account of himself. What am I doing? How am I conducting myself? Until the muhasaba is not there, that hisab, when a person does that hisab kitab and he sees there's a loss, now that business, he sees a loss only after he's made that hisab kitab. Without that, it doesn't give him any kind of concern. He feels everything's going fine. So likewise, that muhasaba, it highlights what's going on, and that will create fikr. And fikr is the fuel that keeps a person then progressing and correcting whatever his faults are.
अल्लाह अल्लाह कैसा प्यारा नाम है, आशिकों का मीना और जाम है।